Joining us now, Rosenberg Research founder and president David Rosenberg. You think this would be a horrible mistake, right, David, if they went again?
Well, I think it would be a mistake. That said, the Fed has sort of pushed the market in its rhetoric towards thinking that they're going to go again in early May. Sarah, I thought that when they were raising rates into that deeply inverted yield curve last fall, that's when the first mistake was really made. But look, it comes down to how you want to define a mistake. The Fed may well be quite content with what they hope would be a mild recession. In their implicit macro forecasts that they gave us at the last meeting, and you trace out the three quarters, Q2, Q3, Q4, the Fed was telling you we're expecting fractional negatives on GDP. So I don't think that they would be considered to be a mistake with a mild recession to finally crush the inflation. So I think that it's a mistake because I think inflation is going to come down quite hard in the next 12 months, irrespective of what the Fed does in early May, but they're obviously not going to take any chances.
It's also not necessarily a consensus view, David. I get that the inflation expectations have come down and they're not signaling any kind of alarm, but I'm not sure everyone would agree with you that inflation is just going to come back all the way down in the coming months.
Well, I know that there's a lot of pundits out there that think that inflation is going to be sticky to the downside in the service sector. But I would say that, look at where the 10-year TIPS break-evens are, or where the 5-year forwards are. They're 2.2, 2.3%. So I would say that there are market characteristics out there, market data that are telling you that inflation is going to be coming back down over time. Talking about inflation, it's like for economists, it's like a race between watching grass grow and paint dry. It's a process. But I do think that once we start to see the break in the rental data, and you're seeing in real time, rents are coming down month after month. It's not been fully reflected because of these 3-year distributive lags in the CPI. When the rental deflation shows through, and this may well be more of a story in the second half of the year into 2024, considering that its rents are 30% of the index, I think you're going to be very surprised, Sarah, that inflation is going to come down a lot more than what the consensus believes right now.